Hi everyone, welcome to the video. Now I have wanted to talk about the cover that Disturbed did of The Sound of Silence for quite a long time, and I thought it would be really interesting to kind of break down what they did to achieve such, in my opinion, a really good result of telling that story. But in the research for this video, I was surprised to find that there are many people and many Reddit forums of people expressing their absolute hate for this cover, and I was like, are we listening to the same song? Like, I was a little bit taken aback, so I thought it would be interesting to kind of make this video and look at the original Simon and Garfunkel, break down what, in my opinion, I think they've done to make it such a beautiful song, and then let's listen to Disturbed's version of The Sound of Silence and see what they have changed and done, and try and possibly understand why some people really dislike it, and I also would like to share why I love it and why I actually think it's a really well done cover. So with all that said, let's get straight to it. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to listen to the 1964 version, which weirdly or funnily enough was the version that, like, Simon and Garfunkel did not receive the success they wanted after that, to the point that they disbanded, and it wasn't until 1965 where The Sound of Silence got a remix done that it became a popular hit, and I find that actually very interesting, and I will talk about that later. So I am listening to the 1964 OG version, and I'm going to make some comments as we go along. So I've got the keyboard out because there are a few points I want to show that I think are just absolutely beautiful in this song. So I'm not going to listen to all of it, just show little snippets here and there, so let's get to it.
Darkness, my old friend, I've come to talk with you again.
Harmony coming up here.
That was planted in my brain.
Oh, it's so beautiful! Beautiful harmony, this vision. In my brain. And this persistent beat right here, I think just makes that harmony so beautiful, and I don't know why, it's just like, it's just so beautiful, and I honestly think that is my favorite version. And if you do listen to the remix version, it is missing the electric guitar. In my opinion, interrupts that beautiful harmony, in my opinion, but I just love that. I think they've done a beautiful job of the harmony though.
I turned my collar to the cold and damp. People talking without speaking, people hearing without listening, writing songs that voices never share.
Those lyrics, I think, are the absolute best in the entire song, and I do think the magic of this song is in the lyrics, which is funny because it's the arrangement that made this a hit song, and it was the difference between the original and the remix, you know, so it's kind of funny to say that. But for me, the lyrics are absolute perfection. People talking without speaking, people hearing without listening, people writing songs that voices never share. It's just so poetically and brilliantly done, and I think that that is the magic of Simon and Garfunkel, their lyricism, to me.
Like silent raindrops fell.
My words like silent raindrops fell. Lyricism. The vibrato is incredibly vulnerable sounding. It's like a quivering vibrato, which I think really suits in the storytelling of this song. This entire song very much to me seems to be like a character kind of becoming more frustrated with the realization of human nature, and that people really don't communicate. They're talking but they're not listening to each other, you know, and to me it seems like at the end of the song the character just comes to a level of acceptance of like, this is the way it is, even though they're not happy about it. That's how I have interpreted it, which is funny because it's clearly, upbeat doesn't seem like the word I would use, but it's not a sad, depressing song, which is kind of the vibe you may think they would go for if you just saw the lyrics, which is kind of the vibe that Disturbed have gone for more. So we will get to that in a moment. the essence of this song sort of seems to be a level of acceptance and a realization of the sad reality of human nature. And in terms of arrangement, it's, you know, it's quite simple. Again, whenever I say simple, I don't mean that to be a bad thing. And the guitar is quite consistent in the strumming. So when you do get to the end and you get that riff that kind of just falls out, it's nice for the ear to listen. Anyways, I think the original is really well done, and I'm gonna now jump into Disturbed's cover because there's so much I want to talk about and address for that. So this is what we're up against. Some of the comments regarding Disturbed's cover go as follows. Man, I hate it so much. It sounds like a Christmas opera. Now, I have never seen a Christmas opera, but if Christmas opera sounds a little bit like this, then I'm all here for it. It's pretty terrible. I've heard it on the radio and couldn't believe how bad it was. It's just stupid and heavy-handed. It's bad. It's really bad. It should have never been made, ever. So, like, people, hardcore dislike this song, and I was trying to think what would make me be so furious if there was a song I love. Let's take ABBA. ABBA were my first love. So if someone took an ABBA song and covered it, what would cause me to incite with such rage? And the only thing I could think of was if I felt as the cover artist was not respectful to the original content and was kind of insulting it in some sort of way, which I don't understand, because if you're putting money, time and effort into covering a song, you must clearly have a level of appreciation for it. And in fact, there's an interview that I was watching with the lead singer of Disturbed, and they were talking about how they were trying to find a song that they could do a cover for, and they landed on The Sound of Silence because they really resonated and connected with the lyrics. And initially they were going to do what they usually do, which is kind of hard rock, intense kind of cover, and then they realized that like the magic of the song was the lyrics, and they all they need to do is let the vocals and lyrics shine, and kind of go for a more ethereal atmospheric version. And I think they've done that very well, and to me that sounds like they do respect Simon and Garfunkel and the original artist. Again, I'm you know, you can like what you like and you can dislike what you dislike, but it always amazes me when people are just like so passionate in their hate. I'm like, okay, chill out, bro, it's fine. Anyways, let's get into The Sound of Silence. So it's in a different key, and then tempo is different, to point out.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again. Left its seeds while I was sleeping.
And some of the hate comments I saw, people saying, look, he's not even singing. I'm like, what do you call this? This is an angelic, deep voice. Oh, that doesn't make sense together. But to me, his voice is so incredibly deep and rich. And yeah, this version is 100 totally completely different to the original in terms of feeling. It's already gone a very somber tone. The key is different, the tempo is different, they're going for a different arrangement, which we'll see more later down the track. You can also hear the keys are a little bit jumpy, they're not just so straight, so I feel like that's also a little bit of respect to the original, trying to keep a little bit of that energy going as well.
The sound of silence. In restless dreams,
Bit of silence. Got acoustic guitar coming in again. I feel like respecting the original.
Streets of cobblestone. When my eyes were stared by the flash of a neon light.
They've added the strings to add even more of that atmosphere they were talking about, and strings automatically just seem to make everything far more emotional, which I know it can be an overused tactic, but I think it's very fitting for this version that they've taken.
Naked light I saw 10,000 people, maybe more. People talking without speaking. People hearing without listening. People writing songs and voices never shared.
So that section where he starts singing people talking without speaking and he goes on, that to me his vocals just are beautiful. It's soft. He goes a little bit distorted, but like controls it and goes more into it later. But I feel like as an audience, the way it's all done, I really heard those lyrics, and I think they're doing a fabulous job. Are we ready? I feel like this section is gonna get crazy. I know it does. I've heard this many times. And the timpanis, oh.
Silence like a cancer grows.
And that lyric is genius, far out. In that section where he sings my words like silent raindrops fell. Again, Simon and Garfunkel are lyrical geniuses, but it's an interesting choice to sing that particular sentence full throttle, like with distortion and incredibly intense. To me, I perceive that as emotional, and it doesn't bother me at all. But I am curious, if you are a hard Simon and Garfunkel fan and you have heard this, you might be like, well, this is clearly not in line with the original intent. My words like silent raindrops fell, and you're choosing to sing this like full on blast, so perhaps that could be a reason some comments were like it doesn't seem to be in keeping in the tone of the original. I am going to save this point for the end of the video, but let's just keep listening. His voice. Crescendoing of everything.
Of silence.
Nice little riff out. But they crescendo again. Ah! So the point I wanted to make earlier on, but I didn't want to disrupt the flow too much, was, so what is the point of a cover song? Is the point of a cover song to take a song and then sing it in a way that is almost identical in a way to honor that? Is it the point to take the message of the song, interpret it in the way that connects to you, and then share it with the world that is truthful? Like, what is the point? Like, another medium I can compare it to is like plays and musical theatre. The script never changes, the characters never change, just like the melody of the song will never change and the lyric will never change. So you have these foundations, and then like the director will come here for the play, and like the artist and the band will come for the music, and they will take these foundations, interpret it, and share it to the world. And I feel like we obviously don't know the intention of an artist, but I feel like if you are going to spend so much time and money and energy onto covering a song, it's because it resonates and it means something to you. And as an audience, you may not receive that because we are all so different. Like, again, I think his voice is just stunning, and the control of his vocals astonished me. Like, the first time I heard this, I was like, what? Like, how? I was so shocked. But there are clearly people who thoroughly dislike it, and that's okay. Like, music is not logical in terms of when we first listen as an audience and whether we like it. Like, I don't listen to a song going, oh, they've done this is this key change, therefore I think it's good. It's a very emotional response, whether we like something or not. So how can I judge someone for hearing a song and disliking it? Like, you like what you like and you dislike what you dislike, and that's just the way it goes. So even though when I read these comments on Reddit and people going, oh, it's just terrible, and that shocks me, because when I listen to this, I emotionally, like, it hits me, and I love it. I think it's fantastic. You know, as I said, everyone likes something different, and we kind of just, you know, need to accept it. I don't necessarily agree with like bashing people online, like that's a whole other story, but yeah, I want to know I want to know, what did you hear first in your life? Did you hear the original Simon and Garfunkel first? Did you hear the remix first? Or did you hear the Disturbed version first, or another version? Because I also have a little bit of a theory that you prefer the version you have heard first. I feel like as humans, we like what is familiar. And to me, this is the version that I have heard fully. Like, I knew the Sound of Silence and I heard a little bit due to the memes, but I had never sat down and listened to the entirety of the song. This is the version is when I heard the whole song in its entirety, and yeah, I love the song. I bought it, is how much I love it. But again, I'm curious to know what you think. If you think that this version is, the cover version is terrible, if you can just simply put down why. We don't need to like attack each other, and if you disagree with me or with each other, we can just say this is simply why I agree with the why I like the cover, or why I disagree and don't like the cover. That's fine, you know. I want this YouTube channel to have a little community where we can all talk. I just don't want us to be mean to each other. Something else to talk about was this initial song originally in 1964 was not a hit. As I mentioned, it flopped. They disbanded and were like, our careers are done. And then it wasn't until the following year that it was remixed, and that was when it became successful, which I think goes to show the absolute importance of arrangement, and how such a small isn't the word, but how minor changes can have such a massive effect. And I don't mean minor as in it's less important, but just how by adding the electric guitar and drums made that song a hit. And so I think it's so interesting how arrangement can be approached, and how much it really can affect the mood of the song. Because as we saw, Sound of Disturbed's version of Sound of Silence, completely different arrangement, and it conveyed a completely different feeling of the same story. And I think that's what art is. Sharing your truth. That sounds so douchey, I know. But I think art is taking that material and doing what you think is truthful and how it resonates with you, and share it. Because we're all so different, and all of us are going to resonate with different things. So I would like to do some more videos where I talk about other covers. I have quite a few in mind, and kind of go through how they, through arrangement, affected the mood and feel of the original, and made their cover version. I think that would be quite interesting. Let me know if that's something that would interest you as well. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bye.